it's Hairyfrankfurt, and today I'm going to be showing you all of the books that I read in 2017. To my knowledge, I don't have one of them because I gifted it to someone very special to me. These are all books that are great for self-development, self-help, and spiritual growth. So if you're into those things, subscribe, because that's what a lot of my videos kind of are geared towards, as well as, you know, story times about stupid shit I did as a kid and reading my diary from when I was a stupid kid. Now, these books, like I said, are all geared towards self-help and development, those sorts of things, a little bit of spirituality here and there. I think they're incredible and they helped me out a tremendous amount. I only read 6 books to my knowledge in 2017. It wasn't much, but it was better than I've done in the past. So let's get started with the first book that I think I read in 2017. My memory's not great. I should have kept a list in my bullet journal, but I didn't because I just don't know why. This is the original Chicken Soup for the Soul, the 20th anniversary edition. I loved this book. Basically, it's just a series of anecdotes from different writers that kind of talk about like perspective and kind of like, I'll read you, this is a short one, The Magic of Believing. So the quote, it always starts, let me show you. So it always starts with a quote up the top and then the actual excerpt. And all of these kind of come from different authors or writers or philosophers, those sorts of things. So this one is a short one, The Magic of Believing. Quote is, "You must have long-range goals to keep you from being frustrated by short-range failures." And that's by Charles C. Noble. So the beauty of this is that if you find something that really resonates with you, you can go and do further research, find a book from that person that is longer and kind of learn more that way. And then the actual like anecdote here is, "I'm not old enough to play baseball or football. I'm not 8 yet. My mum told me when you start baseball, you aren't going to be able to run fast enough because you had an operation. I told my mum I wouldn't need to run fast. When I play baseball, I'll just hit them out of the park. Then I'll be able to walk." So things like that. That was from Edward J. McGrath Jr. from An Exceptional View of Life. I think you guys get it. They're just little short stories that give you a perspective. I don't know, there's a whole series of different short stories in here that are incredible. Also, if you want any of these books, there are links down below. They are Amazon affiliate links, but it helps me out a tremendous amount, and it's basically the easiest way for me to put all this stuff into one place. And yeah, so this is incredible, and it's perspective and all kinds of things. I don't know if that makes sense. But I loved it. A real happy, feel-good book. Really exciting, not exciting to read, but like comforting and soothing. The next book I read was The Secret. Now, a few things about this. Yes, I've already seen the movie. So I saw the movie early on in the year and I bought the book afterwards, not realizing that the book was literally just the transcript from the movie, like the script. And also, this is a hardcover book, which I personally like to read softcover books or paperback books because I find that what's this sleeve called? The foot jacket? Something? I don't know. I find that that kind of is frustrating to read with, and also you need to read it sitting up and it doesn't open properly. I don't know. I actually purchased this from a bookstore and I paid $36 for it. So if you want to get a book, get it on Amazon, or the Lifeline Book Fest is coming up in Brisbane very soon. I'm going to be going to it most days probably, and I'm going to be filming it, and I'm going to be buying a shitload of books. So that's where I'm going to do my what I'm going to read in 2018. But basically the way this works is it's basically about the law of attraction, how to use the law of attraction. It's got, again, philosophers, doctors, and all kinds of people who talk about the vibration, the state of vibration, and the law of attraction, and how to manifest anything that you want. I know it's not for everyone, but I personally firmly believe it. I've had a lot of synchronicities in my life. I don't believe in coincidences because things happen for a reason. Everything's predetermined. And law of attraction has really helped me out. And I don't like calling it The Secret because it sounds too pretentious, but The Secret, the law of attraction, whatever. Some more books I got on Amazon, and then I think I read the Celestine Prophecy after that. I don't actually have the physical copy here because that's the one that I gifted to a friend. And the beauty of that book is that on the back of it, in the blurb, it calls itself the book that is handed from friend to friend and spreads insights through, you know, discussion and sharing. So without even realizing it, because when I read it, I was so touched. It's an adventure story. It's a fictional story, but it's an adventure story that kind of introduces you to the law of attraction and the idea of synchronicity and how things don't just happen accidentally, and it kind of gives you a broadened perspective. I'm all about perspective because I don't think people look at things from a broad enough perspective, but that was a book that was really, it was beautiful to read. It was really well written. I firmly suggest that anyone gets it. I have given my copy to a friend. I bought another copy for another friend for their birthday, and I'm thinking of buying myself the copy again just because I want to read it again, and I want to have the physical copy because I'm one of those people that likes to have books on a bookshelf. Yeah, that book, absolutely incredible. If you like fiction books more than you do non-fiction books, definitely check that one out. Like I said, everything is linked down below. And then I got some books on Amazon. These are both from Chris Guillebeau, who is the author of $100 Startup. I got two of his books, Born for This and The Happiness of Pursuit. So he is big on, I guess, he's not so much spiritual. Okay, so in this one, it's about finding what you feel good at, what you can do and make money from, and where you kind of fit into a niche, which for me, I found kind of redundant because I feel like I found my niche. I'm going to be studying psychology because that's something that I want to do as a job. I do YouTube, I do Twitch. Those are like my passion projects that kind of reward me in different ways, and that's like my Born for This thing. I'll read you the blurb on the back. International bestseller of the $100 Startup shows us how to enjoy greater career success and personal fulfillment by finding the work we were born to do, whether within a traditional company or business, or by striking it out on our own. Chris Guillebeau knows better than most that there's no single model for what a dream career should look like. After all, he has enjoyed a lifetime of meaningful self-employment as an author, entrepreneur, and modern-day explorer, with jobs that have included visiting every country in the world before his 35th birthday and penning 3 best-selling books. This is more like how to do what you want as a job and be well paid for it. It gives some really good practical tips so that if you're doing a job currently and you want to earn more, or you want to make a job for yourself that is more what you want to be doing in life, he gives you tips on how to do that. Again, not really applicable to me, but it was a good read. And then I read his book, The Happiness of Pursuit, which is all about, what does he call them? Missions? Not missions. Quests. So this book is all about quests in your life and how you have goals and you have quests. And so your goal, it's kind of like having a goal that is part of like a quest or like a journey or like that sort of thing. And I can't really think of a way to apply it in my life. It's just a little bit not really for me, I guess. I'll read you the back. A quote from Susan Cain, Quiet Revolution co-founder and New York Best Time selling author of Quiet. So she says, even if you prefer never to leave your armchair, this book will inspire you to take a beautiful voyage, one that can be either physical or mental as you chase the thrill of steady accomplishment. A remarkable book that will both guide and inspire. The Happiness of Pursuit reveals how anyone can bring meaning into his or her life by undertaking a quest. Chris is actually someone who has traveled the entire world, and that was a quest for him. He has visited every country in the world, and so he kind of has this like love of quests and journeys and pursuit. And so he says that his basic, I guess, philosophy for this book is that when you undertake a quest, you kind of get this sense of fulfillment from actually even just doing the quest, even if you don't finish it. So even if he had only gotten like 90% of the countries in the world and he died trying, he's still dying trying to do something that gives him fulfillment, therefore it's worth dying for. Not martyrdom, but the point is, if you're into, or if you're kind of lacking direction in your life, I think both of these books would be good. If you're unsure about what you're meant to do, or how you can better serve the planet or your community, or get some more self-fulfillment and that sort of stuff, probably more this book than the Born for This book. But if you're kind of having troubles at work, then obviously Born for This would be the book for you. Or if you feel like you're just going to a mundane job and hating every minute of it, Born for This. If you feel like working in and of itself is not for you, then maybe Happiness of Pursuit. So, and then the last book that I read for 2017, at least to my knowledge, I don't know if I have any other books that I actually read. Oh, I did read, okay, there's another one that I read. Let me get that. Okay, so the second last book that I read in 2017, and I almost finished the damn thing, was Philosophy 101. This is a book that someone gifted me on Amazon, but they didn't actually leave a note or a sender, like slogan. So whoever it was, thank you so much for this, and also the Psychology 101, which I haven't even started yet. This book is all about philosophy. I feel like it reads very briefly. It doesn't really go into, like, there's some times where it gives you questions and stuff, but then because they're trying to cover literally all of philosophy to date, it's very difficult to kind of allow for diving into those things. So, you know, you kind of talk about all the different philosophers and the philosophies that came from them, and then I kind of stopped towards the end because I found that it was just really tiring for me. This is a book that is more like a morning read. It is something that you read in the morning so that you can get as much knowledge and understanding out of it, and sometimes I even found myself reading it out loud and reading it multiple times over so that I could truly absorb the knowledge, because there's a lot of knowledge in this book, a lot of thinking and thoughts and concepts, and it's like a textbook basically. But I think it's much cheaper than a normal textbook is. Yeah, like $15 US. So if you can get it on Amazon, definitely do. But do not expect like a, you know, story out of this, because, you know, it's everything, like allegory of the cave, prisoner's dilemma, like all sorts of questions that you ask yourself. You know, is it the brain and the body, or is it, you know, body brain, like those sorts of things, like really questioning stuff. And there's a lot of philosophers in here that I'm very interested in, and I wouldn't have really known about that, or the whole I think therefore I am type stuff. There's Buddhism stuff in here, dualism, the ship of Theseus. So the ship of Theseus basically claims that if you have a ship and you say this is Theseus' ship, like the ship of Theseus, right? And then you pull it apart and then put it back together, is it still the ship of Theseus? Yes. If a part breaks and then you fix it and you replace it with something else, is it still the ship of Theseus? If you recreate it with all the same materials, is it still the ship of Theseus? And the way I kind of apply this question to life is that looking at humans, it's every 7 years that every cell in your body dies and is rejuvenated. So you are a new person every 7 years. Are you still the same person? So that's kind of where the ship of Theseus comes into real questioning, real questioning of what is life. Just like with all of these books, at the back are a whole bunch of resources and extra reading if you feel so inclined. So that's something if you're into philosophy. Otherwise, if you're new to philosophy, it might be a little bit difficult to kind of get into. I would suggest kind of like looking at philosophers and then maybe looking into the philosophy. I'm going to be looking at like philosophers' books from their perspective, because I feel like they would explain it differently than that textbook did. And then, I'm sorry this video is so long, the last book that I read in 2017 is You Are a Badass, How to Stop Doubting Your Greatness and Start Living an Awesome Life by Jen Sincero. And I fucking love this book. Not only is it written incredibly tongue-in-cheek, it is written with this subtle spirituality, and it is law of attraction driven, but it is basically about believing in yourself and doing the things that you need to do to kind of... Sorry, the construction across the road is literally killing me. Yeah, believing in yourself enough to do the things that you know you can but never do. So I'll read the back. You Are a Badass is the self-help book for the people who desperately want to improve their lives but don't want to get busted doing it. In this refreshingly entertaining how-to guide, best-selling author and world-traveling success coach Jen Sincero serves up 20 bite-sized chapters full of hilariously inspiring stories, sage advice, and easy exercises, helping you to identify and change the self-sabotaging beliefs and behaviors that stop you from getting what you want, create a life you totally love, and create it now, and make some damn money already, the kind you've never made before. By the end of You Are a Badass, you'll understand why you are how you are, how to love what you can't change, how to change what you don't love, and use the force to kick some serious ass. I love this book. I love this book. I love this. I love this. I love this. If there is one book that you could read, if there's a book that you can, like if you can only purchase one of these books, this one. I know The Secret is great, but you can watch that on Netflix. The Chicken Soup for the Soul book would be my second choice. So this, then Chicken Soup for the Soul, then The Secret, then probably the philosophy book. Just because I think it's really interesting to kind of get that like hard knowledge that you can actually use as like knowledge, but I didn't absorb much of it, and I feel like I need to be taking notes for that kind of stuff. So yeah, this book, I saved the best for last. This is what I ended the year on. I finished it on the 2nd of 2018, and I am so in love with Jen Sincero. Like, I wish she could do another book like this. She has done You Are a Badass at Making Money, and I want to get that one because I like her writing, but I feel like she should make more generalized self-help books. I will be getting that one though, so just so you know. Anyways, that is everything. Oh no, Celestine Prophecy. No, instead of the philosophy book, get Celestine Prophecy. Sorry, yeah, okay. I know this is a long video and I'm so thankful to anyone who actually made it to the end. You are a badass. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe using one of those boxes so that you can see the next video, which is one of these boxes. You will see me in the next video, and I hope you have subscribed so you can get a notification every time I upload. Make sure you've hit the bell. I feel like that ramble just gets weirder and weirder every time I say it. Okay, bye!